One area that's been a particular area of focus has been related to immunotherapy.
Yeah.
So immunotherapy is by almost any standards a wonder drug for different forms of cancer, in that these are used in often used in really difficult to treat cancers. They're often very tragic cases. For instance, they might be young people with very advanced melanoma that spread to different organ systems, but they're used in a wide variety of cancers, and they're difficult to treat. And these immunotherapies, they when they work, they can work really spectacularly for cancers that we had no treatment for before. We didn't even know the gut microbiome was relevant for anything 10 or 20 years ago. And not only have we got here, a drug that has come from nowhere that is brilliant for some people, has won the Nobel Prize, etc. But now we've discovered that the gut microbiome is entirely relevant to how this drug functions or not. Interested parties will be aware of the many steps for getting to that New England paper. The diligent cell work, the mouse work that's gone on for generations, the steps of funding, the presentation of conferences. And here, this was like a sledgehammer. People might have had some awareness of the gut microbiome and manipulation, and then out of the blue, like the carpet is pulled by, and a paper being published of you did what to people, and then not only did you do this to people, but it worked as well. The first patient we treated was someone who, just to describe them broadly, was someone who'd basically been in and out of hospital, an elderly patient who'd been in and out of hospital for 6 months, and we had treated them. The patient had not been totally convinced at first, taken a little bit of time to consider whether FMT was right for them, and I think we kind of went on that journey with them of explaining what we thought were the pros and cons, and recognizing that it was new. And then gradually, from about 3 days onwards, the patient's diarrhea started to resolve. So of course we didn't really know, is this just kind of a bit of vancomycin hangover from what the patients had before? Is it just they've got lucky at that point in time or whatever, But then gradually, every hour turning into day that went by where the patient was still all right, it became kind of more and more likely that, this might have actually worked.